All right, I got to hurry up. I got to go help MJ print out some stuff for his project from Silhouette. So this won't be too long. I'm just going to be on long enough to wrap these tumblers. All right, and let me move you guys over here so that I can see. All right, there we go. So, hello, hello, hello. Hope you're having a great day. I am. Um, you weren't on earlier when I told you we took care of that. You should have received an email. Did you send a new message? But yeah, I addressed that earlier. But you check your email. All right, so hello everyone, incredible greetings. Oh wait, we're not doing craft business questions. We are doing sublimation tumblers for newbies or those who are simply struggling with getting your sublimation tumbler. Are you serious? Come on. You gotta be kidding me. Wow. Okay, let's try this again. Sublimation tumblers for newbies. Oh, emojis are not available. Okay, so I can't do that. Sublimation tumblers. Okay, too many characters. Sublimation tumbler demo. There we go, because it don't want to say nothing else. All right, there we go. All right, come on, y'all, over here. Double tap that screen. Help the live broadcast out. Double tap the screen. All right, we are going to do a sublimation tumbler demo. This is going to be great for anyone that is a beginner or a newbie. As you guys can see, if you click on the cart and place your order, all orders all orders placed before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they get shipped the very next day. All right, so I went ahead and just put some information here on the board to make it a little bit easier as you guys come in. These are some of the common questions that we get asked. I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365. Where the heck is my microphone? I have no idea where my mic is. Like, where is it? Seriously? Where's my microphone? So I don't even know if you guys can hear me or not over here because I don't see my microphone. Like, what in the HE double hockey sticks? Oh, it's under here. Haha. All right, there we go. So I am known as Shakia the Professor of HS Inc. 365. We are the home. I know you guys can hear me. They could. The other side couldn't hear me. Of HS Inc. 365. We are the home of Honestly Speaking. It's our brand of sublimation paper. We also have Sublimation ink, heat tape that's non-staining and non-marking. I do lots and lots of demos and tutorials for sublimation as well as other creative and crafty things. Paper crafting, HTV, sublimation to glitter, foam board cutting, business, branding, designing, and so much more. And I know y'all can't really see my face over here because I'm trying to like stand off to the side. Y'all can see me, but they can't. So I do a lot of different trainings and tutorials. So make sure that you guys like and follow for more information on just what we do and just kind of see our content. But today we are going to do another tutorial on making sublimation tumblers. And I don't have my table. So this is going to be a challenge for me because I'm going to do this without a table. Okay, no table whatsoever. So I did 2 prints on our sublimation paper. This one is with the setting Premium Matte because this has a lot of black at the bottom because I was asked about tips for black tumblers. This one is in plain paper setting. Typically, I use Adobe RGB, right? But whenever I have something that, well, especially if I know it's like AI created, I like to use ICM. So that is like with these, it's premium presentation paper matte, but instead of Adobe RGB, it was printed with ICM because if not, I'll show you what happens because I did a test print of it. You end up with a lot of red or magenta like in certain areas. So I did not want that because the hair should not be that color. So I did it in ICM to take away some of those red tones. All right. So we're going to do two different ones. I use an oven. So here are my dimensions for what I use, the tape that I'm going to use, and the temp and time. So my dimensions, if you can see that, it says 9.3.8 by 8.15. 9.35 by 8.15. I use a 20-ounce skinny from JPP Plus. Okay. There is a code there. You can kind of see that, screenshot it. All right. I'm going to use, honestly speaking, 1-inch tape. That's also found in the shop. Okay. 1-inch tape. Go ahead, double tap the screen, guys. Help the live broadcast out. This is great for beginners. Share it out. Share it out. Even over here, share it out. It's great for beginners. Okay. If you're not a beginner, but you're struggling with your tumblers, this technique works. This technique works. So we're going to use 1-inch tape. Scissors, of course, or you can use a blade and a cutting mat. We're going to use painter's tape. And then we're going to use, honestly speaking, 2-inch tape. I already have my oven preheated. I have my oven set to 350 degrees. I'm going to put both tumblers in there for 4 minutes, okay? 4 minutes. I can personally do up to 15 tumblers with the size of my oven. I can do up to about like 10 to 15 tumblers in there in the size oven that I have. So, and they will be done still at 350 degrees in about 4, maybe 5 minutes. So I'm going to do these two, 350, 4 minutes. So these are all the specs for what I'm going to do. All right, so I kind of sort of already started this one. The printer left ink on the back. I'm not worried about that. Our paper does not bleed through. So I'm not even worried about this little bit of ink that's on the back of this. It's not going to transfer. And by the time I wrap this, I'm going to trim a lot of that off. I typically print to 8.5 by 11 paper so that I don't have to really cut a lot. But I forgot to change it, and it printed to 11 by 17, but it's fine. So that's that. And I'm just going to cut off this end. When you are cutting these, you want to, well, technically you're on 8.5 by 11-inch paper. It's going to automatically leave like the little bit on the other side. You just want to cut down one side really, really close. That is what's going to touch your tumbler. So that's what's going to be on your tumbler is the side that you cut down. Typically, I don't cut my top and bottom or my side because it makes it easier to wrap it around the tumbler and have it line up. Now, with this particular design and how I did it, I just threw this together in Silhouette Studio. Wait, I got to figure out which way to move because this is like backwards. So I just threw this together in Silhouette Studio. It was just a black, I made my template. I made a black box. I took our fade bars. It's a purple one, which I forgot to change the color on it. I just put that there, cropped it in. These are some spider webs from a file that we did with the design challenge for spooky season. I just took a few of those. These are also the little stars we had from that challenge. Threw it in there. This is an image from Creator Fabrica, which we talked about yesterday. You guys saw me download this on live. So I just took that, threw it on here, and hey, just made something real quick just to do a demo with, all right? So just a couple of elements, a black box, a fade bar, this PNG image. I didn't even have to trace and detach it because it was a PNG. It was going in the middle. I just resized it. Did not have to worry about any of that. Threw some spider webs on there and boom, there we go, all right? So that's how this was created. And I did it this way. So I don't have to really worry about like how much is shifted because it's just a fade that's going to just kind of connect to the other side. All right. I'm going to take a microfiber towel and I'm just going to wipe this down, make sure that there's no dust or debris on it. It was inside of it was resent to you. You should have one that came from us. And it should say that you have a package on the way. So it was reshipped to you today. All right. So I'm just going to wipe this down. I'm going to go ahead, take my print and, ooh, see, there's a piece of hair on there. So I hold mine like this, put it there in the middle, and I'm just going to wrap this bad boy, okay? The cut side goes down. I'm just looking through it. I can see through it a little bit because my paper is not even in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to wrap that over like that. I can look at the top and see if it's lined up. I'm not worried about where the bottom is, okay? I'm just worried about getting it on here, holding it in my hand. I like to kind of spin it in my hand to make sure that it's nice and snug. And then I'm going to take one piece of the 1-inch tape and I'm going to put that in the center. I'm going to put it on the side, the flap side, and kind of put it down there because using the 1-inch tape allows me to kind of pull those papers together even more. Okay. So now that's secure on there. I can now move my tumbler around to get it to fit on the template. Okay. Now I'm going to take another piece of 1-inch tape. It doesn't matter top or bottom. Again, putting it on the open flap side. And then we're going to push down on this side and push it this way. Again, helping to squeeze that print together onto the tumbler. Then we're going to take this one. And then I put one piece in the middle of the bottom two or top two. Again, it just doesn't matter. We're going to end up with 5 pieces of tape. You can take your squeegee and go down that if you want. Sometimes I'll wait until after I put the painter's tape on top. And then I'm going to trim this down. I don't cut into my design because I like to have a nice clean line at the bottom. So I cut right above my print. I do not cut into my print. All right. And I'm going to move this up just a little bit. All right, there we go. And I'm going to do the same thing to the top. I'm going to cut this off to where it's right above the print. All right. Ooh. I'm going to take my painter's tape. I can't believe I'm actually doing this just by holding it in my hand. I'm not using a table at all. And I'm going to put that down on my seam. And then trim that off away from the edge. Then I'm going to take my squeegee and go down that seam. Okay? Then I'm going to take that same tape and I'm going to go around the edge. But before I do that, I like to kind of create a crease. So I'm going to take my hand and I'm just going to go around the top and bottom. I like to kind of just create that crease. I'm going to take my tape again, my blue painter's tape, and I'm going to start away from the seam. So we're going to come on this side. I like for my tape to be to the edge of my tumbler. So that's why I kind of create that crease, because that's going to tell me where the edge is. So I'm going to put my tape right there, and then I'm going to pull it across the seam, as Tabitha Brown would say, like so, like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side, starting away from the seam, right below the lip. Okay. Then we're going to take our 2-inch tape, because the blue painter's tape will leave a sticky residue. It will leave a sticky residue. So I never let it touch my tumbler. We use the 2-inch heat tape, which you can find also in the cart. We use this, and we're going to put like 1 inch on here and then tuck in 1 inch. Okay. So we're going to go here. And if you have questions, post them. Once I get done wrapping one, I'll answer some questions, and then I'll wrap the next one. Okay. So we're going to take this tape, and I'm going to do the same thing. Kind of start away from the seam. Every time you start away from the seam, you're able to pull, across the seam, and give it like a better grip. And that's going to really help you, like, just make sure that your paper is nice and tight to your tumbler at the seam. So you're protecting those seams. I don't like using these scissors for tape, but I didn't bring my other scissors over here. So just going to wrap that around. All right. It may have like this little ripple right here. Just pull up on it to straighten it out. Okay. And then you're going to push it inside. So you can use your thumb, push up and in. Or you can just kind of use your whole hand. But up and in. Hello, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. If you don't follow us already, make sure that you hit the follow button at the top. Check out our TikTok shop by clicking on the cart below. We have our sublimation paper, sublimation ink, and heat tape in our shop. More will be added. Other items will be added once we receive more inventory in. But we have our sublimation paper that allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds down in our cart. So go ahead and click on that. Our orders placed tonight or before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, get shipped out the same day. So anything you order tonight will get shipped out tomorrow. So now we have to do the other side, same way. I'm going to start away from the seam. Okay. And then we're going to do the same exact thing. I'm just going to take my thumb and push up and in. All I'm worried about is pushing the paper and letting that tape touch the tumbler to seal that part, and then I'll do the rest of it. This is how it will go in my oven. I put it open side down. Now, I'm going to show you why I also do the painter's tape over the seam. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put it right here like that. When I do the next one, I'm going to leave a little piece of tape out. I just want you to see what happens when it heats up and why you might be experiencing issues on your seams if you're only using heat tape. So I'll show you what can be causing your seam issues if you're only using heat tape. This right here is a game changer. I'm telling you, go get you some cheap painter's tape. So that one is done. I'm going to put that right there. We're going to do this one more time. Actually, I'm going to answer any questions that you guys have first, and then we're going to do this one. So go ahead and post your questions. Any questions? Can you use the same method for coffee mugs? Yes, you can. Now, if you're trying to do a full wrap, like we end up doing this one, just like you got to be really careful when doing the full wrap mugs, and just making sure you have your template, really like down really good. But technically, it is kind of the same method for this as well. Wait, there we go. Y'all can see. It's so weird because I got to go like to make sure that you guys can see it over here. All right, no other questions? Okay, so we're going to go through this process again. So I just cut it off from the 11 by 17 because it printed out both of them. This is the one that is in plain paper setting. So you will see what looks like some bending lines. The thing when it comes to a lot of black when you're using plain paper setting, all the other colors are a mixture of cyan, magenta, yellow. So it's putting layers of ink down for all of these other colors. But whenever you are doing black, it's really only pulling from the black cartridge. So it's not putting another layer on top. Other colors are not being placed down on it. Now, I wish it would allow you to do a composite. If your ink is low, it will then ask you, do you want to do a composite print because your black is low? It only gives you that option when it's low. I really wish it would give you the option at any time to do what's called a composite, where it will make your black up from cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, or a little bit of black, okay? But it doesn't. So it's not as saturated in the black area. So when you go to press this, since it's not a lot of concentration of black, it can come out more, like depending on the brand of ink. So like with us, it comes out more of like a purplish, grayish type tone because our ink has a blue, purplish underbase. So that's going to come out. Now on fabric, you won't see that at all. It's like slight lines on fabric. You will not see that. I'll show you this exact same print, but it was printed with Adobe RGB and not, and it also stopped. But you see on the fabric, you're not going to see any banding lines on the fabric. Now, certain hard substrates, you might see them. You might see it, okay? When it comes to tumblers and things of that nature. Now, I have, like, let me see, which one? This tumbler, plain paper setting. It's only with the black that you're going to get those banding. So this one is plain paper. There's no banding on that whatsoever. You don't see any lines on that one. This is also plain paper. Actually, this one plain paper, I think it is, which is why it's not like a super dark. It may look like a super dark black because the lighting in here sucks, but it's not like a straight up black. It has a little bit of a purplish tone to it. So it is possible, and you won't see those banding lines, but when it comes to black, you just might see them. So pizza wheels and banding, no, those are two different things. And it also might be when you're seeing your banding lines, it depends on which paper you're using. Try out our paper. I'm not sure what brand you are using, but you may end up seeing a big difference if you simply just change out your paper. So our least expensive paper is $20.30. It is the 8.5 by 11 inch size. All our paper is the same, like no matter what the size is. So I would suggest maybe trying that. TikTok is offering like either free shipping, 50% off, especially if you're like new to TikTok shop or our shop. So definitely check that out. So banding is when you use like a low ink setting, or you have a color, like you have lines that are broken on your nozzle check. So all of the ink is not coming out, so it's not filling in all of the spaces, and you're going to see like straight lines go through it, and it's going to be very uniform. Pinwheels, or as you guys like to call them, pizza wheels, are little dots that will trail. This comes from a buildup of ink on your pinwheels, or you are using a really high ink setting that's outputting a lot of ink, but your paper is not really designed to absorb it. Our paper is not one that's really meant to absorb a lot of ink because we have a high release paper. It sits on top. Ours has a resin coating so that it can release at a lower temperature and a lower time. So you can't use, typically like this shirt, plain paper setting. I don't use premium matte, except if I'm using, like I'm doing black tumblers. It comes out a little bit better on black tumblers for me to use premium matte. Now on mugs, I can use plain paper. It's about the coating. It's about the substrate. Some substrates it will show, some it won't. I find that with the tumblers that I use, it is best to use premium matte or take your density like up, but that can cause pinwheels as well. Okay, so if you have pizza wheels, are you using our paper? So if you are, make sure that you are checking your settings. And what you also have to do when it comes to sublimation and using these converted printers, pizza wheels are really inevitable no matter what paper you're using because the ink will build up. They are desktop printers, so they have to have those pinwheels in there to keep your paper kind of stable. When it comes to the larger ones, once ink touches it, nothing else touches the paper. So what you will have to do is clean your rollers more often. You will have to clean your rollers. If you are experiencing a lot of pinwheels, not sure how much printing you're doing throughout the day, you may have to clean it several times. You can either use a disinfectant wipe or you can get a card, tape it to a piece of ribbon, soak that, and then just put it in and just kind of clean your rollers and then be done with it. You just have to probably do it several times a day or several times a week, depending on how much you print. All right. So let's go back before they ding me for not showing a product and just talking too much. They don't really like for you to get, for you to educate people. I mean, well, you can, but you got to always be showing the product. So now I've cut that away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this side as like my little overlap side. I'm going to cut down this side because I want you to see it doesn't matter which side you cut down. You just have to cut down one side. What's going to be really important, I prefer to do this on a self-healing mat or cutting mat or with a paper trimmer and a straight blade, or just use a paper trimmer to make sure that it's a nice straight line. I don't have any white. If you feel like you're not great with using scissors and you may have some curvage, I recommend using a paper trimmer or using a ruler and a blade, okay? But we're going to cut this side. You want to make sure that you're cutting into the color. Do not cut outside, because if you are and you leave a little bit of white, you're going to see that gap on your seam. So you want to make sure that you are cutting into your color, okay? Cut into your color. If you are learning something right now, if you found, right now you're enjoying what you're hearing, you're learning something, it's helping you, go ahead and put a 365 in the comments, okay? 365 in the comments if this live broadcast, as of right now, is helping you and you got some tips to help you with your tumblers. Just want to make sure that this type of content is helpful for you guys, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and cut into. This is why we make our design a little bit bigger than the actual circumference of the tumbler so that we can cut into the design and it's still going to have a good seamless fit, okay? The ends are going to meet. So when you're looking at this, it's going to be hard to see, but you want to see that? You want to see some color on that piece that you are cutting out. You want to see some color. All right? So now we're going to put this on another tumbler. My tumblers, I'm using 9.35 by 8.15. That is the size template that I create for the tumblers that I am using. My tumblers come from Johnson's Plastics Plus, and then there is a code there, okay? All I do is wipe mine down with a towel. I don't use alcohol. If you are going to use alcohol, I recommend that you do at least 90 and not something that's like 50, because that has a lot of water in it. So when you're using that, you either have to sit there and wipe it down a lot, because you can get water streaks because that has water in it. It's not just straight alcohol. Now, if you use 90, you can use that, and you're less likely to have water streaks. But all I do is just make sure that there is no dust and debris on it or like hair or anything like that. So I just wipe it down with the microfiber towel, okay? All right. We're going to take our design, put it onto the tumbler. The side that you cut down, it's going to go on the tumbler. All right, there are too many people watching over here for me to only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 365s. That means the rest of you guys who are watching over here, you're not learning anything. Y'all aren't learning anything. Y'all know this. Y'all just watching just to watch. Okay? It's just entertainment, because you're not learning anything. Nothing was said that can help you with your tumblers. All right. Thank you guys over here. Thank you to everyone that did write 365. Thank you to everyone over here that did chime in with your 365. All right. If you also like, make sure that you're liking this video. Double tap, power tap the screen. Oh, we're at 3,000 likes. Thank you guys so very much for the 3,000 likes. All right. So this side goes down. All right. Then you're going to wrap it. It doesn't really matter how it's on there. It can be way up here. Don't stress, okay? Some of you guys spend forever wrapping your tumblers because you're stressing. You're trying to get it in like the perfect position before you tape it. Don't worry about that, okay? Don't stress where it is, like where the paper is. All that you want to do is make sure that your top and bottom that they line up. That's all you have to worry about, okay? So we're going to put this down like this. We're going to squeeze it, just using your hands. Doesn't require a lot of strength for this part. You're just going to make sure that you push those together. Kind of look through it if you can see through your paper and see if it's lined up. Hold this in your hand. Check the top. I'm pretty good in the fact that my ends are lining up. So you can see that. All right, so this is all that you need to worry about. Don't worry about where it's at yet. You're going to take your 1-inch piece of, honestly speaking, heat tape. I'm going to go ahead and pin that one right now, okay? You can order all of that. It will ship out tomorrow, okay? We're going to take this and put it in the center. You're going to put it on the flap side, push it down, and push it towards the other side, okay? That's going to make that nice and tight. You can take your hand around it. You shouldn't have any rippling going on. You can hit that, okay? So push it back in. That's why I said it didn't matter where it was at. Stop stressing over it, where it is. How many of you guys, when you're wrapping it, you're trying to line it up perfectly before you put your tape on it? How many of you guys do that where you're stressing about that? You're taking increasing your time because you are trying to line it up perfectly before you lay down that first piece of tape. Thank you guys over here for the 365s. Somebody said me. Thank you guys for being honest. Me. Okay, I see a couple me's. All right. So this is going to help you with that. You don't have to stress over it, whether you're using our paper or not. Now, we hope that after today, you will be using our paper, okay? We hope that you are going over to the TikTok shop or, hold on. Wait a minute. What happened to my banner here? Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Okay, there it is. Or you're going over to our website. I had to mute myself over here because I can't say website. Go to our website, grab you some paper, okay? All right, there we go. So we don't have to worry about it lining up anymore. Put that first piece of 1-inch tape. If you are using 1/2-inch tape, you're using this little thin stuff. If you are using this thin tape, you will still have shifting because this ain't gripping nothing, okay? This is not going to grip anything. So if you're still using this thin tape, go to the cart and get you some of the 1-inch tape. I'm telling you, it's going to change your tumbler process. It will change your tumbler process. If you are using this, click on that. It's pinned at the bottom and get you some 1-inch tape. We carry tape from 1/2-inch, 1-inch, 2-inch, 3-inch, 4, and 6. Okay? Someone says definitely trying to perfect before taping. So you get that one piece on there. Then you're going to take you 2 more pieces. You're going to go either top or bottom. Last time I did the bottom. This time I'm going to put it to the top because it doesn't matter which one goes first or last. Okay? Put it on this side. Push it. Then, hold up. Is she upside down? Oh, no, she the right side. I'm like, wait a minute, because I don't remember taping this direction. I remember taping this direction, but okay. So we're going to take the bottom one. Well, the one for the bottom, put it on the bottom. Remember, put it on the flap side. Don't just try and put it in the middle. Put it on the flap side. Secure it. That way you are pulling the thicker tape. You know, you try this with the thinner tape, it's going to snatch right off. This is why you want a thicker tape. Go across that just like that, okay? This is secure. If you need to adjust it, you can try to, but, you know, I tried to do it before I put those top and bottom, because once you put the top and bottom tape, it's a little bit harder to move, okay? Then you're going to take another piece and put it right in the middle. So my stitch on this is only 5 pieces of tape. 5 pieces of tape. That's it. We're not going down the entire seam with a bunch of little pieces. You're going to waste so much tape doing it that way. Get you some 1-inch tape. 5 pieces of 1-inch tape is going to go a lot longer than a lot further, and it's gonna your tape roll is gonna last you longer than putting all those little strips of the 1/2 inch tape. Okay, because no matter what, they're all 108 feet. They're all 108. So if you're using 5 pieces out of that 108 compared to 20, 30 pieces of a 1/2 inch, you're going to get more bang for your buck using the 1 inch tape. Click the shopping cart to get your 1 inch tape. All right. If you don't have a squeegee, I recommend that you go to that other site that's orange, or go to a store, get you a squeegee, and you can rub that down. Okay. Then you're going to take painter's tape. This is just some cheap from a dollar store painter's tape. We're the one that's open. Oh, it's right here. You're going to take this and you're going to go down your seam. If I can do this without putting it on a table, if you are using a table to help support it and keep it in place, you should have amazing tumblers. I'm doing this without a table. I'm doing this whole thing standing up, holding it in my hand, okay? So we're going to take a piece. You're going to put it below. You don't want it to go all the way up because you don't want your painter's tape to be when you curl it over, because this is thicker. And because this is thicker, it can cause an air gap. So you want that to be a little bit below the top and bottom of the tumbler. So I'm going to kind of come on the tape part. Oops, hold up. Still want to go on straight. Okay. And again, you want to cut it. Ooh, hold on. I got to do something. I told y'all I was going to put it underneath here. Just because I want you to see that tape lift, I'll even put a little piece of tape. You don't have to do this. This is for demo purposes. All right. I just wanted you guys to see, once it's heated, what that tape will do. So I'm going to cut this just below the lip. You're going to use your squeegee. Burnish that real good. Make sure all of it is down. Really, really good. That's going to seal in those gases to make sure that it actually touches your tumbler when it's heating up, okay? Seal that in. Then you're going to take that same tape and you're going to go around the top and bottom. This is going to help seal it and keep it tight. I don't like using heat tape because you'll see why I don't like using the heat tape on my tops and bottoms. It works for some people. I'm not saying that way is wrong, but this is the way that works for me. If you would like to try my method and see if it works for you, if you have been having issues with your tumblers, it doesn't hurt to try it out. So I'm going to take the blue tape, and again, what I forgot to do was crease this. So I like to take it in my hand and go around it. That's letting me know where my edge is, so I know where to put this tape. So I'm going to go around it. I kind of crease it along the edge going up. That's going to also make it easier to fold over. So I'm going to take this. I started on the bottom last time. This time I'm going to start on the top so that you see it doesn't make a difference. So what does make a difference is starting away from the seam. Start away from the seam. You're going to put that here. You use that crease as your guide for where to put this at. And you want to take your tape and pull it tightly over the seam. Hey, Joey. All right. Go back around it. All right. I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Start away from your seam. Use that crease to know where the bottom of the tumbler is. You don't want to go above that because you don't want your heat tape curling, your painter's tape curling over the bottom, because that's going to make it thick and that's going to make it to where you're going to have air gaps. So you want to start away from the seam. Go around it. Rip that off. Okay. This is where I cut mine. I don't pre-cut it. Some people pre-cut theirs in the beginning and they cut it down right to the edge of their tumbler. I personally do not. Okay, I do not cut mine down beforehand. I like to do it once it's on the tumbler. All right, and when I'm cutting it down, I do not cut right to my design. All right, I cut above it because I want to still have some that's going to curve over the top. And more importantly, for the bottom, I don't cut into it to make sure that I end up with a nice edge on the bottom. If you start to cut into it, it's going to be all wobbly, and you are going to see that on the bottom. I'll show you a couple tumblers where I cut into it for demo purposes so you can see how that comes out. So I just go in and I cut them. All right. Once we cut that down, we're going to use our heat tape. The reason why I use the blue painter's tape is to make, like you can see, it's nice and smooth. For me, it works a lot better than the heat tape. I've tried it before. I like to just kind of, especially with darker, it's like a safety net for me. There's some people that feel like they don't have to do this method, and that is fine. For me, I find that I have more consistency as far as getting great tumblers doing this method. You can choose not to, but it works. But you cannot have this touch your tumbler. It's great tape. If it didn't leave a residue, I would actually put it up a little bit higher and push it in. But this is also a thicker tape. The heat tape is thinner. So it's going to bend around without rippling a lot better than the painter's tape. And this will leave a sticky residue. I don't want to have to go back in and clean anything. So I'm going to simply wrap it with heat tape. Okay. So I take my 2-inch heat tape. If you are using a tumbler press, I am using an oven, 350 degrees, 4 minutes. If you are using a tumbler press, you can actually stop right here. You don't really have to do the next step as far as sealing it in, because your tumbler press is going to provide that pressure to really, really seal that in and make sure that no air, that no gases escape. But for me, because I'm putting it in an oven, this helps to ensure that when I heat it up, the gases do not escape and cause ghosting at the top and bottom. So we're going to do pretty much the same method where I go away from the seam. I want about an inch on the tumbler, an inch off of the tumbler. So we're going to go here and I'm going to wrap it. Okay, I like to make sure that it's straight. I really don't have to because the blue tape is straight. It's not going to affect it. But I just like to pull it up. And then I'm just going to take my hand, push up and in, up and in. You can do it with your thumb or you can do it with your hand. You get a little bit more control with your thumb, up and in. Okay. Then we're going to take the tape again, once again, away from the seam. Wrap it around. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section now. Once I'm done wrapping this one, I'm going to throw it in the oven. My oven is not in my workspace. All right, so I'm going to have to go out to go put it in the oven. I'm going to just lift up on this. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to push up and in, up and in. All I'm worried about is making the tape touch the tumbler. I'm not worried about this part. I'll smooth that down. So as I'm going up and in, I'm just making sure that my paper is close to the tumbler, and the tape is actually touching the tumbler to seal the edge of that paper in. If need be, this is the purpose. Like, this is where the 1 inch or the 2 inch tape and having that 1 inch is great. You can actually grip it. If you have issues with your hands, trying to grip that little tape can be very difficult. But when you have the thicker tape, if you need to be able to grip it, you have more to grip, and it's not going to come off. That thin tape doesn't have a lot of adhesive to it, so it can come right off if you grip it too much or you pull it too much. So if I need to pull this up to bring it in, I can. Okay. Once it's nice and sealed, I just push this down. It's going in the oven just like this, open side down. All right. That's how it's going to go in the oven. My oven is already preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to put this in there, set a timer for 4 minutes. Hopefully we have some questions when I come back from the kitchen. All right, let's see. No questions. All right, so we're just going to wait the 4 minutes for the tumblers to finish, and then we'll be done. Can you use 1 inch tape if you don't have a 2 inch? I mean, you can. You're just going to put a 1/2 inch on and then just push it in there. It just gives you a little bit more control when you have the 1 inch, the 2 inch tape. But yes, you can use the 1 inch tape if that's all you have. So I'm not using, this is our tacky paper. I'm not using tacky paper for this. Tacky paper is only for fabrics, not for hard substrate. So I'm going to cover this up. But I am using, honestly speaking, sublimation paper when it comes to doing things on fabrics and doing things on MDF, metal cards, stuff like that. I use 365, 30 seconds. For my tumblers, I use 350, 4 minutes in a regular oven. When I was using my little convection toaster type oven, it was 350. I don't preheat that one. I set it to 5.5, 6 minutes. I throw it in a cold oven and I let it just heat up. So as it's heating up, it's actually subbing. So that one I would do like 5.5, 6 minutes because it's cold. When it's preheated, I put it in there for 4 minutes. I have done some in 3 minutes. Does a regular oven temp work better than an air fryer? When taping the design, do you overlap the print out at the seam? Yes. So this particular, the tumblers that I use, the actual size of it is 9.25. That's the actual size of it. So I make my width 9.35. That extra 0.1 gives me the overlap of the actual print. And then I leave a little bit of white to overlap to seal it in. A regular oven is better than an air fryer because a regular oven has an actual seal around it. So that air is not like escaping out. When you're using an air fryer, if you're using now if you're using we have an air fryer, it has a pretty decent seam on it. But if you're using a convection oven, and it just has a door, it's not really sealed, which is why you guys have so much fluctuation in your temperatures and you have to use a thermometer. I've never used a thermometer in mine because one, I don't have to maintain a really high temperature. Because our paper is going to actually sublimate at a lower temperature, if my heat fluctuates, it's fine because this is going to release no matter what. This is going to release no matter what. So I never worry about having to have an extra thermometer in my oven because I'm not taking it up that high to where it's going to burn. And if it drops a little bit, it's fine because this works at lower temperatures. It's a great product. If you are just, it doesn't hurt to try it. The least expensive product that we have is $20.30. It's the 8.5 by 11. And if you're getting it over on TikTok Shop, they'll have things like free shipping, 50% off. So definitely click on the cart. I'm going to go ahead and pin the paper for you. And check that out. It doesn't hurt to try it. You know, there's a couple people that say they will not use anything else. They've used other papers, and this is by far the best paper that they've ever used. I have a client or a customer here in South Florida. He was using the popular brand on that Smiley app that have, you know, prime rib days. And when he tried ours, his mom was blown away with the colors. He was like, look, like this looks like money. He actually increased the price of his shirts because he was like, this quality is way better than it was before. His customers noticed the quality of it. And he actually increased the cost of his shirts because he was giving them a better quality product. So he's actually profiting more because this paper was cheaper than what he was using. The quality is better to where he can charge more. So he actually ends up profiting more using our paper. Someone says, yes, the best paper. Somebody else says the best paper, in my opinion. Thanks. And you are using the same oven you cook meals in. Yes, I am. Yes, it is completely safe. Now, I cannot say, you know, depending on which paper you may have been using before, and it bleeds through and you end up with a print, right? When you're doing your prints on your heat press, if you have to use butcher paper because it bleeds through. Now, if you are afraid of those gases, which those gases technically are not harmful, they're not gases like, you know, like natural gas or petroleum, like stuff like that. It's not anything that's on the periodic table. It's gases, meaning that it becomes a vapor. It's like fumes. That's what it means by being in a gaseous state, which is not harmful. If you are able to sublimate on an open press, if you are able to use a tumbler press, a mug press, you would be exposed directly to those if they were harmful, if they were toxic. It does not put anything in your oven. Nothing stays in your oven when you sublimate. You would have that in the air. So if you are someone where even when you sublimate, you are wearing a respiratory mask and things of that nature, then no, you may not want to do it in your oven. But as far as just the whole process, it's not harmful, it's not toxic. If you are using a shrink wrap that is not meant to be heated, if you're using maybe heat tape that's not really meant to be heated, it's gonna have maybe like a smell. You are heating up metal, so it might be a little scent, but I promise you, it does not stink up your house. If it stinks in your smaller regular oven, it's gonna stink in there too. It's not like that stays. If you burn food, you know, and you have a smell in your house, eventually it goes away. It will be no different with that. But the sublimation process is not harmful. Ours does not bleed through. So there's no gases leaving out the back of ours to even contaminate your oven. There's no gases coming out of ours because it does not bleed through the back. And then I'm using a heat tape that can be heated, and there is no adverse effects to using the painter's tape. Can you use this paper? So that's what we're making. We're actually making. I thought I heard the timer. So that's what we're doing. We're actually making. I did a set of tumblers. Yes, no butcher paper is needed for our paper. If you are in the South Florida area, yes, you can purchase and pick up the ink release. Yes. The best sublimation paper in the market. So she says, doing it in your oven does not let off fumes. I witnessed that when I was there. Thank you. Yeah, so I know who that is. I now know who that is because you said when you were here. So I actually subbed a tumbler for her, and I asked her, I said, did you smell that? And she's like, no, there's no smell on it whatsoever. She did not even know that I was making the tumbler. Oh, yes. I can't say that over here, though. I can't because of TikTok Shop, because that's on a different platform. So, but technically, yes, when the dolphin win, you win. Actually, I probably can put that promo over here also. I'm going to see. I can probably put that promo over here also. Okay. Oh, I hear it. I think. Okay. So I didn't really hear it. I heard something else, but the timer was on 0. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how long these were in there. I think it was over 4 minutes. I really think it was over 4 minutes. So I wanted, okay, so this one had a piece of tape underneath that tape. That tape is gone. It actually fell off. This one was on top. So this is what happens with your tape when you don't seal it. It actually lifts up. This is how, when I go to my oven, this is how it is. The tape is up just like this. So when you are just putting your tumblers in an oven with the heat tape, it will lift up, and that can open up pockets for the gases to escape. All right, so we're now going to peel this off. So this one is the one that was done with premium presentation paper matte. I know because the tape is on the outside. And I don't know how long these were in there, y'all. Hopefully I did not burn them, but they didn't lay down, so it shouldn't burn. But I was like, I knew I was like trying to listen for it. 4 minutes goes by fast. I felt like I was talking for way more than 4 minutes. So yeah. But the one thing about our paper is because it starts to release at a low temp, even if you let it stay in there for a little bit longer, if you press yours at 400 degrees, don't ever use 400 degrees with this paper. Don't disrespect us like that. Don't ever use 400 degrees when using honestly speaking paper. Now, I can take it. If you have to do 45 seconds, maybe go to 50 seconds. But please don't ever disrespect this paper and set your heat press to 400 degrees. Never, ever, ever. I can handle you not doing 30 seconds. I cannot handle you still setting your heat press to 400 degrees if you are using this paper. That's blasphemy, okay? Premium matte. I'm not going to reveal it just yet. I need to see some power taps. I need to see y'all like over here. I need to see let's see what we want to see over here. Drop the color hearts like cyan, magenta, yellow, or put ready in the comments. I need to see some comments. It's too many people watching for me not to see the comments. I need these likes to get up. I need y'all to power tap, power tap, power tap, power tap, power tap. All right. Let me know you ready over here. Let me know you ready over here. There we go. Drop them peacocks. Drop those red, blue, yellow, and black hearts. Double, double, double power tap, power tap, power tap. All right. We're going to, and it's not even hot. 350. Look. That was like how long? And I can handle this because I didn't use a high temp. 350 degrees. I can now handle this. It's not hot to the touch. So when you're going and you're doing those tumblers at those high temps, you got to wait for them to cool down. I can actually, this is literally just warm right now. it's not super, super hot. And I wasn't even like a minute taking the other one down. I'm telling you guys, try it out. Try the paper. The least expensive one we have is the 8.5 by 11, $20.30. 100 sheets, 120 GSMs. You're going to save money. No butcher paper required. Like when you're doing shirts, only time you're going to need the butcher paper, if you're just doing like you're doing the front of a shirt, you're going to need it to take out that line of demarcation. You don't have to use heavy pressure. My heat press is set at like between a 0 and a 1. It's like I'm just barely closing it. So I don't have a deep line. And then I put my butcher paper on top, increase my pressure, press that for about 10 to 12 seconds, and it knocks that line of demarcation out. I don't have to worry about trying to rip the edges. If your design goes all the way to the edge of your paper, it's going to be really hard to kind of get that whole ripped like look. You don't have to worry about that when you are using our paper. So just go ahead, trim the edges to make sure that there's no ink. You just need light pressure. Go ahead, press that 365, 30, maybe 40, 45 seconds. And then once you're done, press all of your shirts first and then go adjust your pressure to where it's really, really heavy pressure, almost to where it's almost impossible to close. Maybe dial back a little bit. You'll need a new piece of butcher paper each time, of course, but you're only using it for that. With all the other papers, y'all got butcher paper underneath, butcher paper inside, butcher paper on top. Once you go and press it, you get that line, you got to use another piece of butcher paper. You will eliminate that. Your butcher paper will last you well over a year. Depending on like how much you actually like press, whatever. If you're just a moderate user, this is going to last you a really long time using our paper. Go ahead, click the cart or visit the website. Okay. This one is the one that was done with plain paper setting. So the blue stuff is painter's tape. The blue one is painter's tape. You can get that from any dollar store. And combine that with our heat tape. All right. This one is the plain paper setting one, okay? This one is plain paper setting. And then this one is the one that is premium matte. Bam. So you can see in the purple that there is a difference. This is actually true to color on the purple. This one, not so much, I will say. I don't really care sometimes for using premium matte. So my black, it's like you kind of compromise a little bit. I'm going to try to, let me see. I'm going to turn maybe this way to where it's a little bit more, it's a little brighter. Okay. So here's the rundown of this, right? Our black one, there's no banding lines. It's blackety black, 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 black. Oh, that's the power of our ink. I'm telling you, even if you are using someone else's ink, what you want to do is go and get you some of our ink. And see, it's not that rust brown. All right, the light's making it look a little weird, but this is some really good black ink. All right, so it's going to be blackety black, black using plain paper setting. On shirts and stuff. This one's a little bit different. So this is the premium matte one, right? No banding lines. But when you look at, so no banding lines. But when you look at the print, like at least in person, to me, the colors are slightly, I'm not going to say they're muted, but I like the color of her better on the plain paper one. I'm coming, son. I like the color. Okay, wait. So let me see if you can see. Hold on. Oh, yeah, you can definitely see that. So this is the plain paper. This is the premium matte. You see how the color, y'all hold on. You see how the color is slightly different? Like just the saturation of it is different. This is the plain paper setting. This is the premium matte. When it comes to regular colors, this thing right here, it's just so much better. I love I don't know. It's the color just come out different with plain paper setting. The premium matte is great, but it's like, I don't know, it just changes the colors a little bit because it's putting down, I can't even say it's putting down so much ink. I don't really know why it changes it. But you see the difference in that? And the difference in her face, all of that. My purples are also different. Let me, hold on. I'm going to show you what's on my screen. All right. That's what it looks like on my screen. Uh-oh, wait, which way? There we go. So you see the purple that it should be. The plain paper is giving me that. The premium matte puts too much magenta. Premium matte definitely adds a little bit too much magenta. All right, so let me share with you guys right here. So you see that color? Pay attention to that color, all right? That is what is on here, on the plain paper setting. It looks a little dark on this because the lighting here sucks, but it's not this. This is super bright compared to what's on that screen. This is closer to the screen color than this one is. Premium matte adds a lot of magenta. Oh, so you do see a line, but it's not white. There's really no way to avoid the line where your seam meets, but there is no overlap of it. So there is my seam. Wait. On the black, you can barely see it. So there is my seam. There is the... I hate the fact that this lighting in this, I got to figure out something, especially on this camera. The lighting just is horrible. And then here is the seam on this one. So this is the black, and I'm not sure you can, the plain paper, and you can somewhat see the lines going across. You don't see them in the top. I'm trying to find the best lighting here. It just, lighting here really, really sucks. It's like one light right here. So see up here, there's no lines in it. Here, you can, there you go. You can see, somewhat see those lines. My bottom, clean. The edges, clean. There's no ghosting on the edges at all. Bottom, clean line. Top, clean edge. So you can see she looks darker than her. This is plain paper. This is premium matte. They both still look good. Yes, so I didn't create the little doll, but I did set this design up myself in Silhouette Studio. So it is made up of a few layers of images. So it is my template. So when I made this, we basically do, so it's the template. I use Silhouette Studio. So you make a box with your template. You're going to fill this in with color. And so then I have this thing that's called fade bars. So I pre-made them in Photoshop. If you have Photoshop, you can make your own, or you can go ahead and buy them from us. So I take that, what's that thing called? That fade bar, I bring it in, I put it behind it, right? So it's like here. And then I select the template part, copy it, paste in front, remove the color, and then I do a crop. So now my fade is here at the top. Okay, so I'm gonna just make that a different color. So this was all black. And then my fade filled in at the top. Okay. Oh, wait, y'all can't see. So then my fade filled in at the top. Then I took a PNG. I took the girl. So that was a PNG from Creative Fabrica. You just open that. I did not have to trace and detach or anything. I went on ahead and just plopped her in there and just sized her up. Then this is actually from another file. It's a different file from Creative Fabrica, from a font. So it was like little dingbats in a font. I went, put those, well, which way is it goes? Like that. So I dropped in those, that dingbat font, put the spider web, whatever, right there. And then I made these stars. I made these little highlights in a design challenge. I showed my students how to make this from scratch. We threw those in there, printed it out, and that's how we created this. So it's really easy to create your own customize. If you want to add a name to this, you can. But with Silhouette Studio, it's really, really easy to create your own custom layouts. Okay? Just get you some PNGs. Creative Fabrica, great resource. I did a video on that yesterday. You can click the link that's in my bio to be able to get that subscription. And it's only going to cost you $4.99 per month. The purple is better. The other colors not. What you mean the other colors? Well, to me, the other colors are like, I mean, they're way better on this one than this one. But I guess it's personal opinion. It's just about your preference. To me, the plain paper, the girl on the plain paper looks way better than the premium matte. In my opinion, based off of my taste and what I like. Okay, the bottom and tops are very good. I just came in your live. How do you get it so clean without lines? We just went through the whole thing. You missed the live video. I wish I can do it again. Follow me. I will do another video tomorrow. I've done quite a few of them, but I got to go help my little one with his homework, so I can't do another one. If it wasn't for the fact that he's been calling me nonstop about helping with his homework, I would have done another one. So come back, and I'm going to do these. These are actually going to be giveaways tomorrow. I forgot to put my freaking logo on it, but I'm going to have some more tomorrow, and they're going to be giveaways with some orders. Okay. Thank you, Shawnee D, for answering that, because I can't. Yeah. See, for me, the plain paper one looks better than the premium matte. Like, based off of how my taste and how I like to see colors. I mean, I like her skin on this one more than this one. It just looks, for y'all, it looks dark, but it's really not that dark. I'm going to take some pictures of it, and you guys will see it. Come back to my page. I'm going to take pictures so you can really see them side by side without all this jacked up lighting, and you're going to see it. Yeah, so this one is truer to color than this one. So yes, I have videos on the fade technique as far as just cropping it down. I've shown it. So you can purchase our fade bars. Hold on. Sorry, y'all can't hear this part. You can purchase our fade bars over on our website, shop.hsinc365. 365. Hold on, I wanted to read my lips. You can purchase our fade bars on our website, shop.hsinc365.com. So when you go to order your paper, go ahead and throw those fade bars. That's a digital download. It's going to be available for you immediately. So you'll be able to use those. And in Silhouette Studio, all you're going to do is crop. If you have Photoshop, you don't need it. But if you have a program like Silhouette Studio, Cricut Design Space, stuff like that, you want to have those fade bars. Or if you have like Canva and you don't have Canva Pro, because they do have fades in Canva Pro. I mean, Canva, but you need Pro. You can use our fade bars in Canva as well. All right. Sorry, y'all. Yes, it lays down too much ink on any premium matte will lay down too much ink on any printer. You want to take your density down. So I drop my density down to like -21 to -25 whenever I'm using premium matte. The one on your right. Okay, I don't know which one I had. Okay, wait. So now, hold on. I'm so mad about this stupid color. I hate the lighting in here. Let's see. Nope, that don't help either. So this is my right hand. This is my left hand. Right, left. I'm so mad. But whatever. I'll take pictures and you'll see how great the colors really look. Both look way better than mine. Try this technique. I'm telling you. You guys can watch the playback. You can get yours to look just like this, especially if you have, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. No, I mean, it's just I don't do a class on that. It's just in Photoshop. If you know Photoshop, if you took my Photoshop class, and you'll know what to do with your brushes. All right, give me a second to answer this one. Anyone else over here have any questions? You can always go to our name, go to the second icon. It will take you to the shop. So I have some questions about some other things over on this platform. So I'm going to turn the shop off right now. But you can always go and click on the link in my bio. And no, not link in my bio. Go to my bio, go to the second option, and it will take you to our TikTok shop. And you can shop at any time. If you're not ready to make a purchase right now, that is fine. You can always come back to our shop. The TikTok shop is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All orders before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time get shipped out the exact same day, no matter which platform you are ordering on. After 3 p.m., it gets shipped out the next day. If you order on a Friday after 3 p.m., it gets shipped out the next business day, like Monday. Post office was closed, so we packed them and we processed them, but they got shipped out today, okay? Thank you guys for following. Thank you for sharing the live. Okay, so my classes vary. They vary in prices. So if you're wanting to learn how to use Silhouette Studio as a graphic designing software, it is great for beginners. It is absolutely free to download and use. You do not have to have a machine in order to use it. You do not have to technically get Designer Edition or get Business Edition to be able to design. Everything that you kind of saw me do here, you can literally do that in the free version of Silhouette Studio. You do not have to have the upgrade. I know it's a weird looking design, but I kind of broke down like how I created it, right? You can do that in the free one. You do not have to have a Silhouette machine. It is a designing software. I teach you how to use it. I am someone where I do know how to use Photoshop and Illustrator. Someone said, oh, you teach that because you don't know how to use Photoshop. Baby, yes, I do. Learned it over 20 years ago. And because I know Photoshop, because I know Illustrator, because I know Corel Draw, which are industry standards for designing, I was able to identify the fact that you can do some of those same exact basic tasks, simple tasks, and some advanced tasks too in Silhouette Studio. And I show you how to do that. The Silhouette Studio class is $103 if you're buying it straight out, $113 or $115.65 if you're doing buy now, pay later on our website. But it is not just a hour-long, 3-hour class. You're getting over 40 hours because it was recorded over the course of 30 days. 1.5, 2 hours on most of the days. When it was the weekend days, we were on that live or like in that Zoom for anywhere from 3 to 5 hours, depending on the day. For some people, like they basically because they stayed on afterwards, it was kind of like a study session. We had the regular lesson. It ended for those who needed to leave, and then I stayed on for those who wanted to practice, especially when we did the tracing and the edit points. I stayed on the live. I still recorded that, so you get to see that bonus content as well. When we got towards the end for the Q&A, we actually had 2 sessions. So although it was over 30 days, There were some days where there were actually 2 sessions, a morning session and an evening session. So there is well over 40 hours for $103, and it's broken up. You get access to an exclusive group. So if you need help along the way, just because you were not there live, you are not left to your own vices. You're going to feel like you're in that Zoom session because we do not edit it. All the mistakes, all the questions, the shared screens, you get to see it all. It's $103. It's over on our website, and we do have Sezzle. Because of the extra fee for that one, it is $113. So if you're doing buy now, pay later, choose the buy now, pay later option. So that's Silhouette Studio. We also have one. It's not quite that same way for Photoshop, but Photoshop, you can do so much more. That program has a little bit more value to it. That class is a little bit more expensive, not as long, but learning Photoshop is a little bit different than learning Silhouette Studio. So that is on the website as well. What we have going on right now, if you want to experience my teachings live, like just kind of experience it live to see if you want to take other classes with us that are going to be at a higher price point, we have what's called design challenges going on right now until the end of the year. I'm teaching different designs. It is from Silhouette Studio. If your desire is to learn Photoshop, trust me, still sign up for the design challenges. I don't just teach Silhouette Studio. I teach you about design. We talked about creating depth, where if you're designing something, you want something to look closer, you want something to look far away, how you're supposed to make one bigger, one smaller. I teach them about negative space. We learned about perspective and flattening things to create fireworks and how to make that shadow like it's on the ground. So I teach designing and design techniques, but I use Silhouette Studio because more people have access to it because it is free. So with our design challenges, I'm teaching you how to do different things. I'm doing them on the weekend so that it's better for people's schedule, but I will have a daytime session throughout the week. So now I'm basically doing the session and then I'm doing the session twice. So you have 2 opportunities to watch the Zoom. However, the second one is not the same way because you have access to both playbacks. It's kind of a get in there, get in, get out, show you how to do it if you want to practice along type situation. So that's kind of how we're doing. We're 4 challenges in. We're doing one every single week until not quite the end of the year, because once Christmas time comes, I'm kind of stopping it because I want to spend time with my family. And then come January, we have our bachelor's program where we're basically going to be going through that 30-day training from top to bottom and also teaching design. We have our master's program, which is a little bit more advanced designing, and our doctorate program is learning things like how to make obituaries and stuff like that. So it's a lot of great classes that we have on our academy, and they all vary in prices. So the challenges, there are free previews, but you can watch. You have what's called VIC access. Very incredible creatives. Right now, for the ones that we're doing, it's just $5.63 to get VIC. You get the worksheet, you get the reference guide, you get the note guide, you get the playbacks of it, and you get the full experience. The free preview, you just see how to do the design real quick. If you're in VIC, you get what we do. It's called I do, we do, you do. I show you how to do it. We do it together with breaks and pauses. If you have questions while you're going through it, if something isn't working on your screen, you raise your hand, I help you through it. And then it's a you do. You do it on your own, and we ask for volunteers. So you have 3 opportunities to get a full understanding in that session, and then you get to watch it back and take notes. I love Chanel. Who else said that? Was it Deandra? Somebody said what they do is they go back and they watch it, and then they take written notes. So you have that playback to watch as many times as you need. Uh-oh. Shoot. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I got the class and I love it. I know you do, son. I'm leaving. I said that. I told him I can't do another one because I got to go help with your project. I got to go, y'all. My child has come to YouTube to tell me that he needs help with his project. I got to go. I love y'all, but I love my child more, so I got to go. I am located in Miami, Florida. I just ordered the paper to try it out. Awesome. I promise you, you will not regret it. Make a video. Let us know how you like it. We like to see those videos. All right. I'm coming, Papa. I'm coming. My plain paper white setting always have lines in them, so I do premium matte. I just might be the ink, but I have it. You set it up before. I got some more. Huh? I'm not sure. Okay. About to make a post using 2 different printers and papers. Oh, thank you, Tim. And I have someone, Tim, that got an F570, and we're trying to figure out, because I don't have it, to kind of work out the settings and stuff like that. So we're trying to get those who have it to let us know the settings that they use. All right, y'all. You're welcome. I got to go. Visit the website, shop.hsink365.com, or go ahead to the TikTok shop. They a lot of times have different discounts available for you guys or free shipping. All right. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.